Ladies and gentlemen, stop what you're doing right now because the NFL landscape has just shifted in a way nobody saw coming. And if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, this moment feels like a lightning strike straight into the heart of football history. Because in a move that will be talked about for decades, Deion Primetime Sanders has been named the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And whether you love it, hate it, or are still trying to process it, there is absolutely no denying that this is one of the boldest, most culture shifting decisions the Cowboys organization has ever made. And the implications of this hire stretch far beyond just wins and losses, far beyond schemes and playbooks, because this is about identity, relevance, swagger, belief, and the eternal pursuit of a Super Bowl that has haunted this franchise for nearly 3 decades. And the second this news broke, the entire football world stopped to stare, because Deion Sanders is not just another coach. He is a brand, a movement, a mindset, a walking headline, a man who commands attention the second he enters a room. And now that room happens to be the most high-profile locker room in all of professional sports. The Dallas Cowboys, America's team, a franchise that thrives on spectacle and expectation. And for years, fans have asked the same question over and over again. What will it take for Dallas to finally get over the hump? What will it take to break the cycle of playoff disappointment? Like, what will it take to restore that fear, that aura, that dominance that once defined the star? And now Jerry Jones has answered that question with one of the most daring answers imaginable, because this hire is not safe. It is not conventional. It is not conservative. It is a full throttle, all in declaration that the Cowboys are done playing small, done playing comfortable, done living in the past, and ready to chase greatness with someone who has lived it, breathed it, and embodied it his entire life. Because Deion Sanders knows what championship confidence looks like. He knows what elite preparation feels like. He knows how winners think, and most importantly, he knows how to make players believe in themselves at a level that transcends talent. And that is the magic ingredient the Cowboys have been missing for years, because on paper, this roster has never been the problem. Dallas has had Pro Bowlers, All Pros, elite quarterbacks, dominant defenses, explosive offenses, and yet when the lights get brightest, something always cracks, something always slips, and that something has often been belief that they belong, belief that they are tougher, smarter, and more resilient than the opponent. And Deion Sanders brings belief like few figures in sports history ever have, because his entire career has been about proving people wrong, about walking into hostile environments and owning them, about turning pressure into fuel. And that mentality is about to be injected directly into every meeting room, every practice, every game day. Because Coach Prime does not whisper confidence, he demands it, he expects it, and he holds everyone accountable to it, from the quarterback to the last man on the depth chart. And make no mistake, this hire sends a message to the players first and foremost, because when you hire Deion Sanders, you are telling your roster that excuses are over, that reputation means nothing, that performance is everything, and that if you want to wear that star, you better be ready to work, compete, and carry yourself like a champion. And the impact of that culture shift cannot be overstated, because the Cowboys have often been accused of being more brand than bully, more hype than hardness. And Deion Sanders is uniquely positioned to change that narrative, because he understands the difference between confidence and arrogance, between flash and focus, between talk and execution. And as a former defensive superstar, he understands the mindset required to dominate opponents mentally before the first snap even happens. And imagine what that does for a Cowboys defense that already has elite talent, but now gets to play with an edge, with an identity, with a coach who lived for shutting people down and making statements on the biggest stages, and then there's the offensive side of the ball, because Deion Sanders has always understood stars. He knows how to manage personalities. He knows how to empower playmakers without letting ego derail the mission, and that balance is crucial in a locker room filled with high-profile names and massive expectations. And what makes this hire even more fascinating is how perfectly Deion fits the Dallas spotlight, because this is a franchise that lives under a microscope, a team that dominates headlines, whether they win or lose. And instead of shrinking from that pressure, Jerry Jones has embraced it, choosing a coach who thrives in the spotlight, who understands media narratives, who can control a room full of cameras as easily as he controls a locker room. And that matters because in today's NFL, perception shapes reality. Confidence becomes contagious, and momentum is often built as much off belief as it is off scheme. And when fans talk about Super Bowl hopes soaring, they're not exaggerating, because this hire instantly changes how opponents view Dallas, how free agents view Dallas, and how the Cowboys view themselves, because suddenly Dallas isn't just talented, they're dangerous, unpredictable, fearless, and bold. And those qualities win in January and February. And while critics will point out that Deion Sanders' head coaching experience comes primarily from the college level, what they often overlook is that leadership transcends levels, motivation transcends levels, and the ability to demand excellence transcends levels. And the NFL has seen time and time again that the most successful coaches are not always the most technical masterminds, but the ones who can inspire, unify, and elevate the people around them. And Deion Sanders has proven throughout his coaching journey that he can do exactly that, turning programs around, changing mindsets, and making players believe they can compete with anyone, anywhere. And that belief is priceless, especially for a Cowboys team that is too often played tight in big moments. And beyond the X's and O's, this hire opens the door to a new era of recruitment and attraction, because players across the league respect Deion Sanders. They want to play for him. They trust him. And that matters in free agency, where relationships and reputation can be the difference between landing a difference maker or watching them sign elsewhere. And imagine a veteran player on the fence choosing between teams and then seeing Deion Sanders on the Dallas sideline wearing that star, commanding that presence, and suddenly Dallas becomes more than just a team. It becomes a destination, a stage, a chance to be part of something historic. And the energy around this move is already electric, because fans feel it, former players feel it, and even rivals feel it, because this is not a move you ignore. This is not a move you shrug off. This is a move that forces the entire league to pay attention. And as the Cowboys enter this new chapter, there will be challenges, there will be growing pains, there will be moments where the pressure feels overwhelming. But if there is one person built to handle that pressure, it is Deion Sanders, a man who built his career on thriving where others folded, on embracing expectations rather than avoiding them. And the symbolism of this hire cannot be overlooked either, because it represents evolution, risk, and a willingness to break from tradition in pursuit of greatness. And that alone injects new life into a fan base that has been starving for something different, something bold, something that feels like a true turning point rather than another reset. And whether this move ultimately results in a Super Bowl parade or not, one thing is already clear: the Dallas Cowboys have reclaimed relevance, excitement, and belief. And in the NFL, belief is the first step toward championships, because teams that believe they belong on the biggest stage often find a way to rise when it matters most. And now with Deion Sanders leading the charge, wearing the headset, setting the tone, and demanding greatness, the Cowboys are no longer just chasing their past. They are building a future, one driven by confidence, accountability, and a relentless desire to win. And as this season approaches, every game will feel bigger, Every matchup will feel heavier, and every moment will carry the weight of expectation because primetime has arrived in Dallas, and with him comes a promise not of easy success, but of fearless pursuit. And Cowboys Nation, whether you're ready or not, the most electrifying era in recent franchise history has just begun. And the road to the Super Bowl has never felt more alive than it does right now.